Change to Harbour the Present by louscr. Chapter 2 Rings Through the Chest. Izuku's replies are slow now, hesitant. It feels like coals in Tomura's throat every time the banner that signals Izuku's typing appears and disappears before leaving him without an answer for hours. They don't voice chat. But, as Tomura has reminded himself so many times since Izuku's first text after the attack, something is better than nothing, even if every message makes his stomach curdle with regret. He's at his computer when his impatience outweighs his guilt, and he clicks over from the dull, urban streets of Gridlock and into his chat with Izuku. The string of grey-blue boxes stare back at him, reminders of his mistake. The cursor blinks at the bottom of the screen. Tomura 4FNG 309. Have a good day, Izuku. Tomura sends it, another grey-blue box to join the rest, waiting to be replied to when Izuku feels like it. Then he realized what exactly he's typed. It had been tradition for the last one of them asleep to send, so at least one of them would wake up to the kind wishes in the morning. It had been the last thing Izuku texted him before the attack, when he had been too busy preparing to check his messages. Clicking back to Gridlock and unpausing feels like moving through molasses, dragging at his joints. The game sucks, plain and simple, but it's the closest he can get to playing Vetamas without feeling like he's added another betrayal to the list. He dies almost instantly because he's so distracted, some NPC coming up from an alley and downing him with a knife. Beneath his hands, the controller crumbles, its dust slipping through his fingers. It's gritty, as it always is, and Tomura isn't sure if it makes him feel more or less itchy. It sticks to him where his hands are sweaty from the tight grip he'd had on the plastic, and it feels like blood soaking his hands when he's decayed flesh. It feels like his hands had as Izuku stared at him, eyes wide and terrified, stained with Eraserhead's blood. It's a reminder of why he's still awake despite his exhaustion. Fear is what Tomura has known alongside anger for his whole life. He hates it. He wants to tear it from under his skin and shove it back in Sensei's face. Tell the man that his words hold no weight. Yet, even just standing in the bar, seated before the ratty old TV Sensei is speaking through, Tomura feels like he might die if he so much as moves. All he can think of, as his saviour speaks, are sharp, too vivid dreams of learning exactly what his quirk felt like crackling across his skin. Exactly what dying felt like, only to be dragged back from the brink, kicking and screaming. In the background of every one of the nightmares, Sensei looms. And they have to be dreams. He remembers them being dreams. Sensei saved him after all. You need to begin to enact your plan, Tomura. I can't allow you to delay any further after your previous failure. All for One says, don't let the generosity you have shown be giving you as many chances as you need go to waste. Tomura stares at the flickering screen, eyes wide. He does not stutter when he speaks. He knows better. Of course not, Sensei, he replies, and he takes some comfort in the sound of Kurogiri shifting behind him ever so slightly. I won't let you down again. It's a promise, because for as much as Tomura fears the man, he owes him everything. All for One makes a noise that is almost a hum, and Tomura's throat closes up. See to it that you don't, echoes from the speakers like a death sentence, and then the TV switches off, the call disconnected. Tomura does not look away, rooted to the spot. Every part of him itches, but he can't bring himself to lift his arms and chase the sensation away. Every thought grinds against his brain like sandpaper, and his vision has gone blurry. Every second feels like an age as the room spins around him. Something deep in his chest is sure Sensei is going to kill him if he fails again. Despite his reassurances, deem him useless and harvest the only thing worthwhile from his corpse. Decay. He tries to imagine what he would do if that happened, and can only see himself frozen in abject terror. There is a shuffle behind him, and something cool presses against his neck, snapping him right back into awareness, gaze finally darting away from the silent TV. Kurogiri has draped a damp washcloth around his neck, right up against the itchiest spots. He isn't sure how Kurogiri knew he needed to snap back into himself and refrain from drawing blood, but he doesn't question it. It does make something in him twist, and release in a way he hasn't felt in a long time, though. It takes him until the end of the day to realize Kurogiri's actions have made him feel safe. As soon as this hits, Tomura's phone is in his hand. He takes a second to say the right words, a ritual he is only beginning to get used to. Not being able to talk freely with Izuku anymore stings, but not hurting him anymore feels like something good to strive for, like repentance. Tomura 4FNG, 903. What do you do when you realize someone makes you feel safe? Also, if Kurogiri finds out about this, you're not on my team next time we play Vetamas. The reply comes so quickly that Tomura can only sit for a moment, too excited to do much else. It feels like coming home. Might Doria 905. Ah, you've acquired a dad. Congratulations. Tomura 4FNG, 912. No, if anyone would be my dad, it'd be Sensei. Might Doria 914. Unsure face. Does he make you feel safe? He isn't your dad, Tomura. Probably more like a leech or a spider. He makes you do terrible things, upsets you. Does Kurogiri? A split second of rage flashes through Tomura at his best friend's words, festering tight in his chest alongside his fear. He can't say that about Sensei. It's not true. Sensei cares for him, watches over him. Tomura's arms itch. Might Doria 1948. Can we voice chat in an hour? I'm going to be bored when I finish homework. The message comes in and Tomura almost chokes on his glass of water in his rush to finish it and sprint to his room, not even bothering to explain his haste to Kurogiri. It doesn't even matter that there's still an hour before Izuku might call. Tomura 4FNG, 1948. Of course, call whenever and I'll answer player 2. After, Izuku's name pops up as typing twice before he goes offline, and Tomura sets himself to staring resolutely at the computer's clock. Each minute seems to span an hour as he does so. He doesn't even react when Kurogiri knocks on his still open door, nor when he hears the man slowly make his way over to where Tomura is seated on his desk chair. Are you all right, Tomura? Kurogiri asks. Without looking away from his screen, Tomura nods. Izuku messaged saying he'd call after he finishes homework. The man behind him makes a small noise of acknowledgement before falling silent, weight shifting as though unsure. Finally, Kurogiri clears his throat stiffly and says, I'm glad you'll be able to speak with him again. There is a short, tense pause before he continues. I believe outside perspectives can be very enlightening. Kurogiri's hand, wispy and faint, lands on Tomura's shoulder for a moment then. Caught off guard, he jerks involuntarily, instinctual fear taking over before Kurogiri squeezes slightly and is gone. Something in Tomura's chest loosens with the touch, even as that fear stays stuck in his throat. The next hour is spent idly staring at his screen, tapping through levels of Bomb Squad that he's already beaten on his second monitor as he waits. Just as he hits a level he's never done before and gets tripped up, causing the bomb he'd been defusing to run out of time and detonate, Izuku calls. Might Doria 2102. Incoming call. Tomura 4FNG 2102. Call accepted. Neither of them speak for a few moments, and Tomura's lungs feel completely empty of air. Then, breaking the white noise, Izuku mumbles out a cracked, Hey. And Tomura can breathe again. Hey, player 2. And he is reminded that is not the same, because there is so much he wants to say but doesn't have the courage to. It's okay though. The tiny laugh Izuku lets out feels like hope. Do I hear the Bomb Squad film music over there, Tomura? He asks, voice a weird mix of hesitant and teasing. Tomura lets out a fake scoff, minimizing the game to stop the sound from leaking over. BS, you know I'm way too good at puzzle games to fail a Bomb Squad of all things. Izuku makes a noise of doubt, and Tomura laughs this time, trying to muffle it. The lulling conversation stretches, and Tomura knows it's because Izuku isn't sure what is the safe topic. Tomura isn't either. Finally, he settles on saying, The sports festival's coming up, right? And it immediately feels like the right choice. Yeah, Izuku says excitedly. I'm so excited to participate, especially against all the other students. Everyone's so strong and motivated. Training has really brought everyone together last week. He trails off for a second, obviously not done, but unsure. Tomura, would you watch? Another moment of silence before Izuku seems to steel himself. And not for any other reason than to watch me. You were the first person to believe in me, and I... A thick pause, heavy and terrible, and Tomura hates it. I don't know, just... please? Of course, Tomura says without hesitating. Sensei has never trusted him to analyze the sports festival before, so not badgering the man about entertaining his thoughts on it for a year should come as a relief for him, while allowing Tomura a moment of freedom to be there for Izuku, to make up in some small part for his mistake. The thought reminds him of something, and guilt rolls again through him. Tomura has more than one regret clinging to him from the USJ. Hey, Izuku, I know you probably don't want to tell me about it, or don't feel safe telling me, but... The question catches in his throat, making it hard to breathe and swallow and think. Is Eraserhead okay? There is a soft, "Oh," from Izuku's line and some stammering before he finally manages to say, "He's doing better now, still in cast, but he's able to take some of the bandages off." It's weird how much the news makes Tomura's heart sink. He hates heroes, had done what should have been right at the USJ, but Eraserhead's staunch defense of his students snags against Tomura's conscience every time he recalls the man's expression as he fought. They sit in silence again for a while, until the angry catch in Tomura's throat snaps and he finds himself crying. He can't remember the last time he cried. It burns through him like fire, pressure building behind his eyes as he chokes on his own breath. "I'm sorry, Izuku," he manages to squeeze out, and then he can't breathe, and can only barely feel his nails against the thin skin at his neck. "I know, Tomura," he hears Izuku whisper. "I believe you."